Hello folks, Simon here, welcome back to the channel, and you've just started with Crisis Core Reunion and want to give yourself a good head start. Well, I'm going to help you on your way today with a bit of an early boost to the game that is going to come in invaluable, I think, as you make your way through. So I'm going to be showing you how to get some optional and early, fairly powerful materia along with a nice item also. And as a prerequisite, you will want to make sure you have got to Chapter 2. Okay, so there's the prologue, Chapter 1, then Chapter 2. Takes about an hour to get here. And during Chapter 2, you will be speaking to Kunsel, but before you go off for the main mission, you will unlock a whole bunch of optional missions, and that is where we are going to be spending our time. Now, there is more you can do on top of what I'm going to show you today. However, I do hope this video serves as a good balance of just getting that little bit of extra power to help you in some of the tougher situations that you are going to be faced with without becoming so overpowered that you are just going to breeze through the rest of the game. So after coming back into the Shinra building, you then speak to Kunsel, but don't go and speak to the Turk. Instead, head over to the materia room for a cutscene and an introduction to that system. Although it's important we do this now because it will also unlock some missions we are going to partake in. And then I'm going to head back on the lift down to the entrance to the Shinra building and to the save point where we are going to do the missions. It's mostly out of habit I use this save point because we are close to an NPC that can heal us to full. However, in Reunion, a nice quality of life change is that you are automatically always healed to full once you have completed a mission. So the first mission you're going to do is mission 121, and if you don't have access to this mission, then just pop outside the Shinra building and speak to the Shinra captain. He's located in an alleyway not too far from the entrance. Missions are super convenient in Crisis Core. Once you've selected the mission, you will be transported automatically to the right location, usually a mini dungeon with some random encounters followed by a fixed encounter at the end, which will end the mission once you defeat it. A couple of things to note for those of you coming from the original Crisis Core. First of all, a nice change here is that the number of unopened treasure chests is now displayed on the interface, and something that's also important is the fact that if you now abort a mission, you will not keep any of the rewards that you collected during that mission up until that point. In the original game, you would. Here in Reunion, you will only keep the rewards if you successfully complete the mission. And completing this mission is going to get you the Shinra Alpha. This is a really nice early accessory with plus 40 vitality, which is a very healthy defense boost for this early in the game, and it just means that a lot of physical damage is going to be reduced going forward. Of course, you will need to equip this to take advantage of it, so don't forget to do so. Okay, so next up, we're going to increase the challenge a little, but the rewards are definitely worth it. We're going to be completing missions 821 right through to 825. For mission 825, just bring your strongest fire materia and you'll make quick work of the final challenge there. And what's great about these 5 missions is they each reward a Mako stone. And what we're going to do with our 5 Mako stones is take them over to the materia room that we was in earlier on. This is where we can swap those items for some nice shiny materia. We will get poison, silence blade, both very useful. But the best of the bunch has got to be gravity. This will reduce an enemy's current HP by 25%. Very, very useful, especially against enemies that just have huge health pools. It doesn't tend to work against bosses, but most enemies in these missions are not bosses, even the end of the mission enemies. So yeah, make sure you get gravity as quickly as you can because it really is going to come into its own. Okay, just a warning, this next section is going to give you a fair amount of leveling experience because there's a number of missions we're going to have to get through. So if you don't want to be over-leveled for the next part of the story, then you may want to come back to this later. But if you're not too fussed, then what we're going to do is start with mission 611 and complete this entire list up to mission 616 inclusive. Now, some of the enemies in these missions can get a little tricky, but we do have that nice materia we just collected, so put that to use as need be. And a little trick for you with the bomb-type enemies, just hit them once with a physical attack and then stand back. After a few seconds, they will explode, removing them from the battles. Make sure you loot all the chests in these missions. You do get a number of decent rewards, including new materia and items to equip, but the main reason we're doing this set of missions is so that we can unlock the next set, which begin with mission 631. And what we want to do is work our way to mission 634, because one of the treasure chests contains the crystal gloves, a really nice accessory, especially this early on in the game, which give a number of stat boosts, along with giving immune protection to poison and silence when equipped. So like I say, a little bit of work to get to this one, but in my opinion, it is worth it. And for the purposes of the video, the final set of missions you may want to do whilst you're here in Chapter 2 are the Mission 4-1 set. So that's Mission 411 right through to Mission 415 inclusive. That final mission, make sure when you enter it, you turn around immediately. There is a treasure chest containing the barrier materia. That is what we want to get. Barrier is a great piece of magic that reduces the physical damage taken when that materia is equipped. Don't forget that in order to actually keep this materia, because it's out of a treasure chest, you still need to beat the mission successfully. And just a tip for the final battle here, make sure you bring some area of effect attacks. And if you are struggling with the incoming damage, then go ahead, equip your new barrier materia and cast that at the start of the fight.
Oh yeah!
Okay, folks, so again, all of this was optional today, but depending on how much you have followed, you are potentially going to be really well set up for the next portion of the game. There is indeed more I could have shown you, but I'm going to save some of that stuff for a future video, including collecting some optional summons that Zack can call into battle. They're a lot of fun, but I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Do come and stick around the channel. I've got a whole bunch of Crisis Core Reunion content planned. Subscribe if you want to be notified of that. Please don't forget to drop a like on this video if it has been at all helpful to you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.